Claims adjuster reviewing photos of hail damage to a detective examining video in a murder case to a family law attorney presenting screenshots of threatening messages in a custody hearing. What do they have in common? Well, each one is making a consequential decision based on visual evidence, and none of them can confirm with certainty that what they're seeing is real. And that's not a hypothetical, that's not a tomorrow, that's a daily reality of working with digital evidence right now. The best AI-generated images and videos have reached a level of quality where even trained professionals frequently cannot tell them from authentic media. Controlled studies find that people often perform only slightly better than chance at spotting deepfakes, and when the fakes are high quality, sometimes they do worse. You see, modern generative AI does not alter existing images like toolmarks using Photoshop. Instead, it creates entirely new ones from scratch, pixel by pixel, with none of the editing artifacts that traditional manipulation tools leave behind. Courtrooms, insurance companies, law enforcement agencies, they've built entire decision-making processes around the assumption that photographs and videos depict something that's actually real, that actually happened. That was true at one point for the most part. Fraud's always existed, but the assumption is now dangerously outdated because fraud has been democratized to everybody, and insurance is feeling it first. Swiss Re's 2025 Sonar report flags deepfakes and synthetic media as an emerging risk for insurers specifically. Claimants have submitted AI-generated damage photos that passed initial review, manipulated CCTV footage with altered timestamps, and at least one documented case, a completely fabricated telehealth video submitted to support a disability claim. Let me ask you, how hard are you looking for this yet, insurer? Makes you wonder, what are you not catching? And courtrooms are dealing with this already as well. The Federal Judicial Conference Advisory Committee on Evidence Rules has been considering a draft amendment to Rule 901, specifically aimed at evidence that may have been fabricated by artificial intelligence. Louisiana already passed a law in 2025 directing lawyers to take reasonable steps to verify the authenticity of digital evidence before presenting it in court. That old standard of does it look right no longer holds up when looking right is the easiest part to fake. So what are the proposed solutions, remediations, helps to this? What can we even do? Well, one idea is to build a database of known AI-generated content. Catalog fakes using digital fingerprints the same way we do with child exploitation images or CSAM. That system works when the same images get shared thousands of times. Fingerprint it once, catch it everywhere based upon that fingerprint. AI-generated images are the opposite problem. You see, every prompt or every image created produces a unique image with a unique fingerprint. So you're not cataloging copies, you are trying to inventory an effectively infinite number of originals. The math doesn't work and the content mills are only going to speed up. And then there is C2PA, what they call content credentials. Think of it as a cryptographic notary stamp, so to speak, that's embedded in media at the moment of capture. It can record which device took a photo, when it was created, and which edits followed. And that concept is exactly right. Verify the original, not the output. Some major camera makers have joined the initiative or related content authenticity efforts. That is real progress. But there's still a problem. The vast majority of photos submitted as evidence today carry no provenance data at all. So what about those AI detection tools? Couldn't we just run it through that? Well, I wish I had better news. While these tools can perform well in controlled lab settings, accuracy drops sharply when they confront real-world content created with techniques outside their training data, or content that has been compressed and reposted on social platforms. NIST, or the National Institute for Standards and Technology's AI 100-4 report, and several independent evaluations have all concluded that no single detection approach currently offers a reliable standalone performance across content types and attack methods. Yes, the tools are improving, but in many real-world scenarios, they're not keeping up with the pace of new generative techniques. Are they good triage tools potentially? Absolutely. Will they get you to the absolute truth? Almost assuredly, absolutely not. What are we left with then? When you have to know, what are you left with? We are left with device-level forensics, the examination of the device itself that took the picture. That means digital forensics. You see, when I or another examiner examines a phone or computer in a case, we're not looking at a single photo in isolation. We're looking at that photo in context, sitting in a camera roll alongside thousands of other photos with consistent metadata, file system artifacts, application attribution, creation timestamps, you name it. The operating system tracks when files are created and which applications generate them, network logs, GPS coordinates, sequential file naming conventions. All of this builds a web of corroborating details that either supports authenticity or exposes fabrication. If one threatening message screenshot appears out of nowhere while no matching entry in the messaging database, No notifications, no backups. That's a powerful indicator that that image was potentially manufactured. Without provenance and context, authenticating it with any real rigor is extremely difficult, and sometimes it's not going to be possible at all. Now look, no method is perfect, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Someone can photograph an AI-generated image displayed on a monitor with their phone, and the source device will record it as a new, genuine-looking photo. An experienced examiner may be able to spot traces of that for sure. There's always going to be edge cases. And we also got to talk about the difference between enhancement and generation. You cannot take a photo and throw it into AI and ask it to be enhanced. It's not going to give you something that's of evidentiary value because it's creating stuff in that image that did not exist in the original. Forensically sound enhancement means controlled operations that clarify existing data, existing pixel, adjusting contrast, reducing noise, things like that. It doesn't create new content. Generative AI edits are different. When software removes a mask off someone, alters clothing, claims to unblur a face, it is hallucinating all of it. It's filling in all those missing details with whatever it wants to based on its best guess. The result is no longer a record of what any camera saw. It's a synthetic reconstruction. All right, wrapping up. Here's the shift that needs to happen in courtrooms, claims departments, and any organization that makes decisions based on visual evidence. And that doesn't mean photos and videos only. That can be receipts in an expense software or paperwork coming through a portal. Stop asking, is this image real? And start asking, can you prove it?